Hello, we are Team Keiretsu from Rotterdam School of Management. My name is Christian and I am the team captain. Next to me are Josefa, Ricardo, and Madonna. Together, we are excited to use the risk room to tackle the Zurich challenge. We choose Bicker case, which, as you know, is a multinational retailer looking to expand into Latin America. The first question is, where to expand? There are several available options, and we begin by comparing them first amongst each other and also with the well-developed markets and newly added countries. General view of the situation in the risk room allows us to see that two countries should be immediately discarded for their high risk. First is Venezuela, in the Armageddon quadrant, being the riskiest country in the world. Then we have Argentina, which even though it's not the riskiest political option, is one of the top 8 countries with the highest business and economic risk. Consequently, we must now choose between the remaining 5 countries, which we will now explore in more detail. Using these tables and the evolution of the specific KPIs obtained on both political and BE risk, our team selected Colombia, Mexico, and Uruguay. As for Uruguay, we see that it has comparable BE risk with the existing market and newly entered markets. Even though the political risk is higher, this is due to KPIs which are not necessarily linked to retail market. Now, although the small population of the country may raise concern, it's highly urbanized territory, which means that with little investment, Bicker may reach most of the Uruguayan market. This makes it the ideal tester country to explore the expansion plan. Risk room shows reassuring stability both economically and politically. Indeed, even though there have been fluctuations, Uruguay remained in the same risk region. Additionally, it appears to have a business-friendly environment for foreign investments, as shown by the economic risk KPIs. Our research also shows that the country has experienced constant growth in the last 12 years, and it has one of the highest GDP per capita in the region. It is also ranked third in the Global Retail Development Index.
Our next choice is Mexico, characterized by a large market with 190 million inhabitants. Looking in the risk room, we see that it has a below average exchange rate fluctuation and a low risk of inflation, which is good for international capital. We also believe that the proximity with the US market could eventually become a plus for Bicker. Moving on, we have to decide between 3 remaining countries: Ecuador, Colombia, and Brazil. The first one was discarded because of the alarming level of political risk. Indeed, currency convertibility and exchange rate fluctuation could severely damage the profits and general functional performance of Bicker in case of it investing there. As for Colombia and Brazil, they are similarly ranked, but we decided to go for Colombia because of Brazil's issue with governmental red tape. The burden of government regulation, custom procedures, and extent and effect of taxation would take up too much time and resources to cover them. So Colombia then. This country was selected as it's in the same region as Brazil, but it has a lower BNE risk. In fact, out of the 7 proposed countries, it has the lowest. Not to mention that it is a leader in terms of investor protection measures in Latin America, and it has access to both Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, which lowers costs and simplifies supply chain management. Now, how do these 3 countries compare with current markets? First, they appear to be more politically unstable, but they are similar in terms of business and economic risks. Also, the higher growth rate of emerging markets means that smaller initial investments are needed and that the environment is investor-friendly. It is important to note that there is no high risk that the European crisis will greatly affect Latin America, which is important for a company that has recently invested in Hungary, Poland, and Czech Republic.
Our risk mitigation strategy is as follows. There are some additional things that Bicker should take into consideration. First, the population access to internet and television for marketing and online sales purposes. Secondly, the Global Retail Development Index provides useful insight into the potential of each market. One of the important things it takes into consideration is local shopping habits. Do citizens buy local family-owned corner shops or in bigger supermarkets? It is also important to observe competition and saturation of markets. If big retailers with better knowledge of country and big market shares are already well established within the population, it might be better to take a risk in less ideal but less aggressive markets. Urbanization is also a key factor, as it defines the potential profit and reach of investing in setting up a store. Last but not least, purchase power is crucial for pricing strategies and to determine the potential profits of this kind of venture. We would also like to suggest that Bicker consider the possibilities of other markets such as Chile, different countries in Eastern Europe, and Asian locations. Thank you for your time. We hope to get the opportunity to meet you in phase 2.